Yo, what's good? I'm back. Today I'm bringing you a free trap vocal preset in Studio One using Slate digital plugins. This is me on the mic, just busting a freestyle, trying to hit that trap vibe. I'm not really a rapper, so hey, just think, if I can sound okay, imagine how good you can sound using this preset. So first I'll play the mix for you guys with the plugins enabled, then bypass, and I'll let you hear what the preset's really doing. And then after that, I'll break it down and show you what's going on in the session. So all that being said, let's get into this mixing.
I'm pulling up for the storm. Yeah, I pull up and I eat this little bitch pussy for lunch. Yeah, oh, you talking with what? I don't wanna hear you talking with when I walk in, I hearing the gossip, they quiet and quiet, they show. Yeah, bitch. I'm pulling up for the storm. Yeah, I pull up and I eat this little bitch pussy for lunch. Yeah, oh, you talking with what? I don't wanna hear you talking with when I walk in, I hearing the gossip, they quiet and quiet, they show. Yeah, bitch, I'm back in my mode. Hey.
So I have all our plugins bypassed, our ad-libs are muted. First, we're going to focus on the leads. So first on our lead channel, we have the virtual mix rack. That's where we're doing a majority of the vocal mixing. And first in here, we have our virtual channel, just adding a little bit of saturation. We're using the Trident board setting, and our input and output are linked. Our input is -5.3. Our output is +5.3. And after that, we have this noise gate. You can see all the settings here. The slider is going to be your threshold, so you can adjust that as needed. And this is just going to get rid of a lot of the background noise. So with these, our vocal is now going to sound like this.
I'm pulling up for the storm. Yeah, I pull up and I eat this little bitch pussy for lunch. Yeah, oh, you talking with what?
So after that, we have our revival. It's adding some body to the vocals and a nice high-end sparkle. And so you can see the shimmer is set at 9.9. Our thickness is set at 2.7. After that, we have a FGA EQ. We're adding a little more top end with this. At 10K, we're boosting 2 dB. So now with these, our vocal is going to sound like this.
I'm pulling up for the storm. Yeah, I pull up and I eat this little bitch pussy for lunch. Yeah.
So after that, we have the Blue Stripe FG 116. We're using a 4 ratio. Our input is set at -30.3. Our output is -13.7. Pretty quick attack, really quick release. And this is just taming some of those peaks, getting everything to sound even. So now our vocal is going to sound like this.
I'm pulling up for the storm. Yeah, I pull up and I eat this little bitch pussy for lunch. Yeah.
And then after that, we have a custom series EQ, getting rid of some of the low end we didn't want. We've got a high pass going on at 112 hertz. At 200 hertz, we're taking out 4.2 dB. And at 400 hertz, we're taking out 1.4 dB. So now with that, our vocal is going to sound like this.
I'm pulling up for the storm. Yeah, I pull up and I eat this little bitch pussy for lunch. Yeah, oh, you talking with what?
So then after that, we're sending it to the FG2A. Not doing much compression with this. If I remember right, it's around 1 to 2 dB. We're just rounding out the vocals as a whole with this. So I'm going to let you guys hear it with this enabled.
I'm pulling up for the storm. Yeah, I pull up and I eat this little bitch pussy for lunch. Yeah, oh, you talking with what? I don't wanna hear you talking with
So then after that, we got a de-esser, just taming those S's. This was a very dynamic performance from me. You can hear the S's really popping out, so this is really helping rein those in. So our frequency is set to 4.2K. The range is 5.95 dB. So with this, our vocals are now going to sound like this.
I'm pulling up for the storm. Yeah, I pull up and I eat this little bitch with pussy for lunch, yeah. Oh, you talking with what? I don't wanna hear you talking with,
So then from there, we can go to our sends. First on our sends, we have a parallel compressor. We're using the FG stress. We got a high pass going on. We're using the third distortion. It's on the nuke ratio, which I believe is probably 50-1. Our input is set to 8.6, attack 2.3, release 5.2, and output 2.1. So with our parallel compression, our vocal is now going to sound like this.
I'm pulling up for the storm. Yeah, I pull up and I eat this little bitch with pussy for lunch, yeah. Oh, you talking with what?
So then after that, we got our reverb. You could see all the settings on here. We're using the Verb Suite Classic, taking out a bit of the low end of the reverb, taking out some of the highs. Got a 6 millisecond pre-delay, 7 millisecond pre-delay, and we're widening it a bit. You could see all the settings for the delay right here. So with the, reverb, I meant to say. So with that, our vocal is now going to sound like this.
I'm pulling up for the storm. Yeah, I pull up and I eat this little bitch with pussy for lunch, yeah. Oh, you talking with what? I don't wanna hear you talking with, I went
So after that, we got a delay. This is going to be our final send. We're using the repeater. We got an 8th note. Cranked up the feedback a touch. We got a high pass going on at 217 hertz. Low pass at a little over 12K. We're adding some saturation with this. You can see all the other settings on here. And with this, our lead vocal is now going to sound like this.
I'm pulling up for the storm. Yeah, I pull up and I eat this little bitch with pussy for lunch, yeah. Oh, you talking with what? I don't wanna hear you talking with,
And that delay and reverb, they really add a nice ambience to the vocal that I really like. So from there, we can go to our ad-libs. First on our ad-libs, we have the virtual mix rack. All the settings are the same as on our leads except for one, and that's going to be on our FGA EQ. Instead of boosting 2 dB, we're boosting 4 dB for the ad-libs. After that, we have the infinity EQ. We got a high pass going on at 427 hertz and a low pass going on at 7.9K. And then after that, we have our kilohertz chorus. So with all of that, our ad-libs are going to sound like this.
I'm pulling up for the storm. For the storm, for the storm, for the storm. Yeah, I pull up and I eat this little bitch with pussy for lunch, yeah.
And then we can move on to the sends for the ad-libs. We're not using the parallel compression. We are using the same reverb and same delay as the leads are using. We're just using more of that reverb, and we're using about the same amount of the delay. So with that, our ad-libs are now going to sound like this.
I'm pulling up for the storm. For the storm, for the storm, for the storm. Yeah, I pull up and I eat this little bitch with pussy for lunch, yeah. Oh, you talking with what? I don't wanna hear you talking with, I went
Okay, so now we can move on to our mastering chain. First in our mastering chain is our infinity EQ. We've got a high pass at 20 hertz. At 98 hertz, we're taking out 0.7 dB. At 450 hertz, we're taking out 0.4. At 6K, we're adding 0.3. And at 15K, we're adding 0.4. After that, we're using the VBC FG Gray, doing a little bit of compression, gluing the mix together as a whole. So we've got a somewhat slow attack, quick release, threshold of -3.4, 2 ratio, and 0.7 makeup gain. If I remember correctly, we're doing 1 to 3 dB with this. After that, we got a fresh air, just adding some sizzle to the mix overall. We've got a 2% mid-air, 4% high air. Then after that, we got a limiter, bringing it up to commercial volume. So guys, that's going to be my trap vocal preset. I hope you like it. I hope the video was helpful. I want to take a second to apologize for the inconsistent uploads. From here on out, it's my goal to get a video up for you guys every week. And all that being said, take care and get mixing.